Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. How about them Oilers, huh? Hey, let's go to the old final score graphic that we normally have for these post-game editions. What? 5-0 for the Edmonton Oilers this afternoon. A 1 p.m. start. Hey, you know what? It wasn't on a weekend, so do 1 p.m. starts count differently on a weekday? Maybe so. 5-0 over top of the Washington Capitals. You see the title, right? 100%. There's a lot more to it than the title tonight because the title can be used 1,000,001 ways when it comes to this Edmonton Oilers team this year. Number one, the Edmonton Oilers are unbelievable. Obviously, today, one of the best teams in the NHL this single day, Black Friday 2023, put together a 5-0 effort over top of the Washington Capitals in which a 25-save shutout for Stuart Skinner. I did not get the pleasure of watching this one, I tell you, because obviously day job and work comes first, and you know the standard stuff, which I'm sure you all had apply to you as well. Well, guess what? I got the chance to listen to it on 6:30 CHED, thanks to obviously the Radio Player Canada play button or whatever they have on their website, and by all accounts, it sounded like a dummying of the Washington Capitals, which is unbelievable because of how bad this team's been. Okay, before we go too far, I want to make sure, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. I really do appreciate everybody that has done it here in the past 24 hours, closing in on 13,500, and that means we're 1,500 away from 15,000 with just over a month to go to end the year. That's a pretty unbelievable milestone to hit that 10,000, then 15,000 all in the same calendar year. And that's all hats off thanks to you, you friends back home. All right, 5-0 for the Oilers. Unbelievable, right? We've already covered that, Tice. Sorry, it's just that unbelievable. No, realistically speaking here, friends, there's a lot that went on in this Edmonton Oilers game that I think were positives, right? The power play came back roaring to life. Stuart Skinner gets a 25-save shutout, as I previously mentioned, but I have to mention that about 5-6 times tonight because maybe by the 6th time I mention it, it might sink in that it is a real legit thing that happened. I'm not doubting, obviously, that this team can be good. That has not been the intention. I have said multiple times over, this team is much better than they have shown they are. So, where we are at right now is you look at this classic situation. You're at American Thanksgiving. You're kind of already out of the playoffs based on the numerous math formulas that are run the day of U.S. Thanksgiving. And you kind of ask yourself, okay, what did the Oilers need the next game after to have any shot? It's the old classic get-right game. And that's exactly what this is for the Edmonton Oilers. So obviously, the defense tonight, or this afternoon, was perfect. You didn't give up a goal. The 200-foot game from the forwards was perfect. You didn't give up a goal. Your goalie was perfect. He didn't give up a goal. Your power play was the power play that we have talked about this. I've heard this term used a lot this year, and it's almost embarrassing the last few weeks that it's gotten used. The vaunted Edmonton Oilers power play. Well, it was just that today. That's very impressive. And obviously the goal scoring was huge. 5 goals. That's amazing to see. The goal differential changes drastically based on that. Oh, and by the way, Connor McDavid's your first star with 4 assists. We like all these results. But it seems almost unbelievable given how this Edmonton Oilers season has gone thus far. And that is why I'm using the word so heavily tonight. It's unbelievable in the sense of they could be doing this all year, right? They could do this every game. Why? I know the Washington Capitals are a little bit of a sad sack team, and he's not the star he used to be. He's just chasing a record, and then he's gonna go for coffee, right? That's the end of the day. Is there's just a couple things left to tidy up here in Washington. Nicholas Backstrom's already removed himself from the situation, so yeah, the Capitals are not what they once were, and obviously not having a stellar season this year, but they were keeping goals off the board, and they were doing enough to win. And the Edmonton Oilers blew them up today, which is absolutely unreal. 35 shots on goal, 25 shots for the Caps, as mentioned. The Oilers' power play was 3 for 4, and their penalty kill was 5 for 5. So again, unbelievable numbers friends, compared to what we've seen all season long. So that's where we come to kind of terms with everything here. The Oilers were on it all day from what it sounded like. 6:30 Ched, Twitter, anybody that was talking about this game had nothing but good things to say. Everything I got texted to me was good stuff. I'll tell you my favorite text of the day. And for those of you that are like, oh, Tyson's jumping back on the bandwagon, friends, again, you kind of got to look at the factors that have been happening here on the channel over the past few weeks with how bad things have actually been. Quite honestly, Oilers winning is bad for business at this point. That's the unbelievable part about this, is I actually got a text today where it's like, good for the Oilers, bad for Dolynny TV. And I'm like, oof, that's where we're at. That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. And obviously personally for me, but I mean, personally for us as Oilers fans, it's great. So end of the day, I'm split in half. Business stuff all on the other side. I don't care. The Oilers won. That's all that matters. Yeah, it's easy to be angry when they lose, but you got to enjoy the winning while it happens. You've only done it 6 times this year. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy the heck out of it tonight. Not necessarily saying I'm jumping back on the bandwagon if I ever jumped off, but you know where I'm going with this one. Evander Kane, Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard, Draisaitl, and Draisaitl twice. Hyman with some assists. Nuge with a couple of points. Right, you look at this. Vinny Desharnais picks up his first assist of the year, and Evander Kane's almost to double-digit goals. That's unreal. And, I mean, he's still got one more on Draisaitl, and Draisaitl scored 2 this game. So, craziness. But, again, the big part here for me is Stuart Skinner picking up the victory, a much-needed victory, and a shutout nonetheless. So, the only thing that I really have left to say that's unbelievable about the Oilers is what we talked about this morning. Philip Broberg was brought along on this road trip to, I don't know, be there. Literally, that seems to be the only answer Chris Knobloch gave us at the start of the road trip. And I know this morning we talked about Jason Demers and the Oilers ruining Philip Broberg's career, all that. Well, he doesn't even dress today. I mean, yeah, you can talk about Philip Broberg not showing you anything, but again, Philip Broberg can't show you anything if you don't give him any time to show you something, right? That made sense? I hope it did. I'm a little amped up here, but you get where we're going, right? It's unbelievable that we continue to sit here and say, well, we got to give Philip Broberg some runway, and then as soon as a mistake happens or as soon as, well, it's more convenient not to, we do it. And that's the biggest problem I've had with this Edmonton Oilers squad this year, whether it be under Jay Woodcroft, whether it be in the preseason, whether it be under Chris Knobloch. It is just everything that is said, they scale back on almost immediately, right? The line consistency under Knobloch that we were promised, bye-bye, gone, hasn't happened. And yeah, you know what? You've won a couple of games with it. Well, you won quite a few games with Jay Woodcroft without line consistency for a year and a half. Cool. You know what? Again, I'll let you end the night here with me on a line that you probably haven't heard today. Something that I thought of today on my drive home from work, looking up at the stars and saying, man, you know what? I'm lucky to be where I am. Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side, but friends, the stars will be. That's the biggest thing, is when you change where you are at, even if it's just solely to be different, that's not a bad thing. But again, for the Oilers, that's where we're at. And now you got to wait for the stars to align because of it. And tonight, I'm thinking you got that get right game. It's been a long day. Sitting in that office today, driving myself nuts, let me tell you. Get right game. And now maybe, right, the stars align to allow Stuart Skinner to have a shutout despite being one of the NHL's worst goalies in a long time over the past 18 games. Stars have aligned. Is it going to continue and allow the Oilers to right the ship? That's going to be the big question here, because we've made our changes just solely to be different, right? The grass hasn't been greener so far on the other side, but we know that things are different because we have a different guy on the bench. We have some different rules. And now we just got our biggest result of the season. It's unbelievable that it took to almost game 20 to get a game that looks like the Oilers from last spring, but we got it. And now what's it going to mean going into the action on Sunday against the Anaheim Ducks? Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for being aboard this evening. I am up on out of here.